Bitcoin has been around for almost a decade, and it's no longer this weird, obscure concept that only excites nerds. It's a weird, obscure investment, and now it's making some people filthy rich. So everybody wants in. So sit back, relax, and I'll answer the top 5 most Googled questions about Bitcoin in under 5 minutes. Seriously, time me. Okay, that one is easy. Bitcoin is a decentralized peer-to-peer digital currency backed by cryptography that bypasses governments, central banks, and other third parties to facilitate transactions. Next. Okay, so that probably made no sense. Let's break it down. Bitcoin was originally designed as a digital currency, and how it functions is what makes it so unique. Every time a Bitcoin is bought or sold, that transaction is verified and recorded on a public ledger of sorts called the blockchain. Just think of it as a list of every transaction ever made for all time. And all of that blockchain data is stored on a network of Bitcoin users around the world. Each individual user has a copy. It updates automatically, it can't be deleted, it can't be altered, so it's really hard to cheat the system. And because it's stored on a network, no single government or central bank or company really owns or controls Bitcoin. That's why people say it's decentralized. It was also supposed to be anonymous, and that was a big part of the appeal originally, but for all the wrong reasons. People were using it to buy drugs and guns and other illicit things online. Now law enforcement have better tools to track Bitcoin, so if you started Googling this in hopes of financing criminal activities, sorry, this isn't that video. Let's step back. Mining is the term for creating Bitcoin. Remember how I said every transaction is verified and added to the blockchain? That whole process, which involves a lot of computational number crunching, is what's called mining. And miners are just people using special hardware and software to crunch all those numbers. In return for that work, miners are paid with, surprise, entirely new Bitcoin. You used to be able to mine with just your desktop computer, but not anymore. Now, only the first miner to process a block of transactions is paid with new Bitcoin, so miners are in constant competition. And to win, they need the fastest mining rig with the most computing power. And there are companies now that operate huge warehouses packed with mining hardware, and they do nothing but mine around the clock. So your desktop, it doesn't really stand a chance. All of that computing power eats up a massive amount of electricity too. It's been estimated that Bitcoin mining consumes as much energy as the entire country of Denmark. So miners are in an arms race not only to boost their computing power, but to get the cheapest electricity prices too. Otherwise, they just lose money. That's actually the easiest part of all of this. The major Canadian banks don't provide this service yet, but there are online exchanges where you can buy and sell Bitcoin just like you would stocks. You sign up, you verify your identity, which takes 48 hours, and after that, you're free to start sinking your hard-earned cash into Bitcoin. You can still try to pay for things with Bitcoin if you want, but these days people are treating it less like a currency and more like an asset, like gold. And it's been a shockingly good bet so far. A single Bitcoin is worth about $13,000. That's an increase of more than 1,500% in the past year. The Toronto Stock Exchange, it only returned 5%. Invest is probably the wrong word. Buying Bitcoin is more like gambling at this point. The price can swing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in a single day, and nobody can adequately explain why. There are well-founded fears that Bitcoin is in a bubble and that people are only buying it because they think it'll be worth even more money down the road. But we've never seen anything like Bitcoin before, so it's impossible to know what's going to happen. More importantly, if you don't understand Bitcoin and you're still scratching your head after watching this video, you might want to think twice before hopping on the crypto bandwagon. What time am I at?
4 minutes.
There's a whole culture around Bitcoin now, including slang. So like my favorite slang term is BTFD, which means buy the dip. So when Bitcoin crashes, which it does every few days, you buy it at that lower price. So when it rallies, you can make more money.